Well, hi everybody. This is DearMamaSal, and we are live on a Friday evening. Let me just get that light out of the way, which means it's smile time. So I hope you're ready to laugh. Jody, our admin, has done an absolutely wonderful job. Oh, I seem to be. Where am I catching the double? Must be from the sun outside. Isn't that beautiful? Just love it. Oh, and I thought before I start, I thought I would show you this beautiful light that I have that I got to unpack earlier in the week, but I actually got to clean it this afternoon. So I thought I'd put it together and show you. Isn't that beautiful, the way the lights go back into infinity? I thought you guys would appreciate that. And so depending on what angle you have it at, you can see, isn't that beautiful? So I thought this was a really great day. Yeah, I had a feeling you guys would appreciate it. That's why I decided to put it together. And I thought today, hi, Erin. All right, so hi, Isabel. Hi, Nyasha. Hi, Jody. Hi, everyone. I just thought it was the ideal day to do that. It must be the sun from my skylight that's reflecting here. Maybe not. I don't know. It's somewhere, but it's beautiful, isn't it? It's like I have this halo now. Hi, Sandy. I'm in the right. I'm in the light, big time. Maybe if I turn the light off, it will help. Good point. No, I've still got it going. All right, so Nyasha's going to use the time to clean her room. Isn't that a wonderful idea? All right, so feel free to participate. Those of you who are new, welcome to the broadcast. We do 3 a week, one Friday lunchtime, my time, Pacific time, which is normally our skills one. And we did one today about mentally surviving what's going on around us. Friday evenings is always our smile time. And then we do another one on Sunday afternoon, my time, which is our Soul Sunday, where we sort of regroup and get ourselves ready for the coming week. So very, very exciting. I really, I guess I can only say that as the summer progresses, this could get worse. So I'm thinking, wow, yeah, that really is quite bright. Wait. I think I have. No, I can't reach there. Wait, I have a step stool. There we go. Woo. Whoever thought that I'd need to turn the light down a bit? That's the light from my smile. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? Anyways, yeah, that's definitely a lot more palatable. I could just tell that it was going to get progressively worse every week, so I'm glad I've got I've got it under control, which is more than I can say for myself. So, for those of you new, feel free to participate. Just know that if you put comments up on the live chat here, and you're more than welcome to, I probably will check to see if I may repeat them. The people who are here regularly, I know that they know the rules, and they know that if they put something up there, if they don't put at the end of it, don't talk about it, that it is okay for me to talk about it. But if you're new to the broadcast, I'll probably check with you. What is DearMamaSal all about? We're a group of people, like an extended family. We get together 3 times a week, and we help each other cope with love, life, and other problems, whatever's going on in our lives. And so feel free to let me know if there are any topics that you'd like me to talk about, and you know that's going to drive me insane, right? Why? I'm not really that anal. Apparently I am about these. I think because I can see them in the reflection. Anyway, so feel free to write to me at DearMamaSal@gmail.com if there is a subject about which you'd like me to speak. And we have done actually quite a good job of having different people suggest really great topics. So follow us on Facebook and Twitter if you would like to be part of the family. And I say that because on Facebook, we use it like a day timer to update people. For example, for those of you concerned about Beth's daughter, Victoria, who got rushed into hospital this week, she's doing fine. Apparently, did I understand that she came out of the thing, but she's now got a drain in her because something was leaking, but it's all under control, so everything's good. And Jody will confirm if I got that wrong, which is quite likely knowing me. Anyway, so things like that. So if you've got any medical updates that we need to share, please let me know so that I can update everybody. And if you click on the subscribe button, we'd really love that, but also click on the bell. And when you click on the bell, it's going to ask you which notifications, and you're just going to click on all notifications. And that way you're going to know when we go live. It'll send you an update to say we're about to go live, just in case you forget. So there you go. I think those are most of the housekeeping things. I don't know of any birthdays this week, unless you do. If you guys know of any birthdays, please let me know, or any anniversaries or something that we may have not known about. So this is an awesome day. It's Good Friday. And for those of you, okay, Jody's just confirming about Victoria, Beth's daughter. She said, yes, Sal, you are correct. She has a drain now. I believe she had an infection. Yes, she had something causing a bit of a problem, and then that's what they've done. So all is well, and that's the main thing. Of course, very frustrating for poor Beth that she couldn't get to the hospital to be there with her. But the good news was, if I understood it correctly, Beth's sister actually works at that same hospital, so she had family popping in to see her, and it was the sister, so that was awesome. Now then, as usual on a Friday night, Erin's rash has finally gone. Yay! Did they change the washing powder for you? Poor Erin, that is so, it's one of those small things. It'd be interesting to know what it was within that washing powder that caused that, just so that you know that you're allergic to it, so that you might get them to get the names of both and then study what's in one that isn't in the other, just so that you can say in future that you have a skin allergy to this. Anyway, it's great to hear. Thank you, Erin, for the update. And so we got both those for the updates, Jody. So our thanks to Jody, our admin, for coming up with some great funnies for this week. I know that you're going to cry with laughter. I always give Jody an absolute open slate on this one. I say, if it makes you laugh, I want to hear it. It's like you can put whatever you like in there, and I know that she's not going to put anything that's not suitable for rebroadcast, but it's just like, if you find anything chuckle, it's going to have my chuckle as well. All right, so Beth, I've just got an update from Beth, but I'm not sure if I can repeat that. So I will wait until Beth confirms that for me, because she didn't do it on the feed, she did it privately. So Beth, let me know. Otherwise, Jody, can you give me a reminder to get back to Beth on that after the broadcast if we don't hear back from her? All right, so here we go. The first thing that Jody found that made her chuckle, and therefore will make us chuckle, is diet day number 1. We've all been there, I'm sure. I have removed all bad food from the house, and it was delicious. Jody, I so relate to that. It was so funny because I bought this powdered meringue powder yeah, anyway, meringue stuff. And I tried to make some, and I said to Jody, it didn't taste very good. She wrote to me and said, did you add the sugar? No, of course I didn't add the sugar, Jody. I'm not allowed to have sugar. I did add some sweetener, but obviously not enough. Now, this next one had me absolutely burst out laughing. So I don't know whether I've got a nasty, wicked mind or what it is, but this one I definitely loved. It said, my friend thinks that he is smart. He said, onions are the only food that makes you cry. So I threw a coconut at his face. I don't know why that one amused me so much. Yeah, it did, Isabel, as well. Thank you, Isabel. All right, so Erin's saying, yes, they changed it. They went back to the old one for me. They washed my clothes and things and that. So that way I'm the only person allergic to non-allergic detergents. That's the problem. It was too good for you. Wow, isn't that amazing, Erin? But you know something, Erin? It happens. I can remember treating myself to a really good facial, you know, and I ended up buying, in those days, it was about $150 worth of product, you know, after the facial. So, you know, on today's terms, that probably would have been about $300 worth. And that within an hour of that, within about an hour of that, my face completely broke out. But, you know, you have no idea. And it was in the days before cell phones where you could take a picture. And I literally, you know, got back in the car and I rushed up to the store and I said, I just want to let you know I need to return all the product and get my money back. And this is why. Beth, I don't know if you heard, but I wasn't sure if you wanted me to repeat what you sent me as a private note, because it came in as a private note, not on here. So let me know if you want me to repeat it, or just leave it if you don't want me to, because I haven't. Now, this one some of you will really relate to. Tell me not to do something, and I will do it twice and take pictures. Yeah, I've always said, if you want to really motivate me, tell me that's impossible for me to do, you know, and I will move heaven and earth to make sure that I do it. Yeah. So isn't that funny that that's another person that's reacting to Free and Clear? Sandy's saying that she knows of people that have reacted to it as well. So isn't that amazing? I wonder what it is within it, though. It's obviously not totally free and clear. And good to see you, Sandy. Now, this one I find very personal. It says, after all the eating I've done this winter, I am happy to report that my flip-flops still fit. I have to tell you that with all that I've been eating, that's not necessarily true. You know, my edema, you know, I have swelling of my feet, you know, seem to be just as bad. And so I think I ordered some fancy gizmo that I'm going to try and get the edema to move from my feet, because it's driving me quite insane. Now, every now and then you get a quote that is just so smart, you wonder why we didn't think of it. And Jody, you knew I was going to love this one. Why are iPhone chargers not called apple juice? How come I didn't think of that? I love it. And the actual battery called an Apple core. Yeah, I like that one. What else can we think of? Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Jody. You're quite right. I loved it. Now, Jody, you obviously were in a wonderful mood when you were collecting these, because I would say that some of these are some of the best you've ever found. For example, Jody found this quote, and it says, "When I get a headache, I take 2 aspirin and I keep away from children, just like the bottle says." Oh, I was just saying that you obviously were in a really good mood when you were finding these, Jody, because I think they're among some of the best you've ever found. Hi, Rinsky, good to see you. So when I get a headache, I take 2 aspirins and keep away from children, just like the bottle says. I think that is so true. And by the way, I did want to warn everybody. We were talking about mental survival of what's going on in our lives at the moment. We were talking about that at lunchtime. And one of the things I did want to say is, for those of you in relationship, be a little careful. And the reason I say is that some people's relationships actually work very well as long as somebody leaves the house every day and doesn't come back for 8 hours. Or 2 of you leave the house every day and don't come back for 8 hours. And some relationships are not going to fare well when you're both at home with nothing to do but talk to one another. Do you know what I mean? Some people's relationships will thrive on that, and others, no, not so much. So be prepared, not scared. It can happen. Jody, I don't know where you found these this week, but they are priceless. Okay. Please note that I am self-employed. So if you see me on my own and talking to myself, please do not disturb me, because I'm having a staff meeting. Yeah, I found that living here, I talk to myself out loud. And I answer too. Yeah. So quiet. You remember how quiet it was when I arrived? That's when people were still going out. Now it's even quieter here. I want to tell you, Jody, you were in a mood when you found all these, and it was a great mood for which I am very, very grateful. And how many of you go, nice one, Jody, when you hear this one? Not all who wander are lost. Some are just looking for coffee. She always finds a coffee one for me. I've spent 2 days going around my house trying to find this bottle. It's what I call my watering bottle. And the reason is I can go to gentle plants and just sprinkle it like that. Hope I didn't do over anything electrical. Anyway, it was so funny because I spent 2 days looking for it, and I know that it's this high. So, all the time I've been looking for this bottle. Well, when I found it, it was lying down. That's why I couldn't see it. I wasn't looking for something lying down. I was looking for something standing up. Duh. Yeah, Sandy's saying she's always looking for coffee as well. Okay, so let me just see here. Yep. Don't let me get lost here. There we go. So this is for anybody who's ever owned a dog, including myself. When I yell at my dog to stop barking, I wonder if he's like, wow, this is awesome. We're barking together. I think that was, it was one of the great telltales to me about somebody that I met. And I can't remember what he accidentally did. He accidentally tripped over my dog or something. And it was so amazing because what he did stunned me, because he immediately hit the ground and had this eye-to-eye conversation with a German Shepherd. Now, not many people would have an eye-to-eye conversation with a German Shepherd, but he did. And he was busy saying how sorry he was that he tripped over him, and it wasn't that he meant to do it, and he would beg his forgiveness. And I thought, wow, that's different. Yeah, I want to get in my good books, treat my dog well. Yeah. All right, this came from Anne Landers. She was the sub. What did they call her? Anyway, somebody you wrote to when you had problems. So, before the days of DearMamaSal, I guess. At every party, there are two kinds of people: those who want to go home and those who don't. The trouble is that they are usually married to each other. That's so true. Oh, Eve, that's a great. The Erin saying, "Gosh, that was totally my dad and Rocky." My dad would yell at him to stop barking, and he would bark even louder. Yeah, he would get excited. Oh, look at that, we're barking together. Yeah, actually, Nyasha, it was amazing because here was this, vicious-looking German Shepherd, and he was just lying on the ground. He didn't even, he'd been lying. He had his head flat on the side, on the ground like this, and he just was there, and his tail was going. I knew that he wasn't going to hurt him because his tail kept wagging, but it was really cute to see. And I just went, wow. Nice, I like that. Jody, I think everybody that's honest with themselves will relate to this one. Some days you eat salads and go to the gym. And then some days you eat cupcakes and refuse to put on pants. It's called balance. How are we all doing? Anybody had cupcakes this week? I'm actually now into making myself oat muffins. And then what I do is I put some cream cheese on top, because cheese is good, right? So I put some cream cheese icing on top. Yeah. So I reckon that's balance. And my blood sugar seems to be staying under control while I do it, so that's fine. Balance is key. Absolutely, Jody. Well, you did a great job on these, I must say. Irma Bombeck, who we all adore, she just has a way with words, right? Never go to a doctor whose office plants have died. Did any of you ever see the movie 28 Days with Sandra Bullock? It really was an incredible movie about addiction, but it had so many incredibly good points in it. And, one of them was, that you weren't allowed to go and get into a relationship when you left the rehab place. You first of all had to prove that you could keep a plant alive, right? And if you did that, then you were allowed to get a fish. And if you could keep the fish alive, then you were allowed, then you were allowed to get a dog or something. But it was so true. Because if you didn't have the presence of mind to be able to keep a plant alive or a fish or then you sure as heck could not be trusted with a relationship. And I remember thinking, that is so true. That is so incredibly true. How come we haven't had to do that in our lives? You know, we just go into relationship and hope that they'll work, right? Okay, let's see this one. Who, in their infinite wisdom, decreed that Little League uniforms should be white? It certainly wasn't a mother. It's so true. Okay, Nyasha's saying, Sal, apart from the ice cream I made, there isn't a snack in the house. I forgot to purchase few before the pandemic. And although we can go to the stores, there isn't anything like that on the shelves. No, this is where you learn to bake. It's time to learn how to bake fun snacks. You know, if they're not in the stores anymore, then you're going to learn to cook them. I found that I couldn't get cupcake stuff, but I could get muffin mix or something. So what I did is I made muffins, and I'm putting frosting on muffins because, you know, I can. It's just like, you know, I can make a plan. I am very flexible about these things. And I'm busy working out how I managed to totally miss ordering carrots and lettuce on my last order, because, you know, those are two things that I eat every day. And I'm going, I ran out now. Now I have to wait until Wednesday or something. Tuesday or Wednesday, I can't remember, until I get new ones. Oh, Erin, you saw that movie as well as Jody. Yeah, 28 Days. Hi, Em, good to see you. So, you know, it's one of those movies that I think everybody should see. You know, it's a very clever movie because it's so true. And this is a quote that I absolutely love. We have it occasionally. I've definitely had it at least once before, but I can keep repeating it because it is very clever. Oh, the candle piece is gorgeous. Yes, isn't it just? So I managed to unpack it this week. And as you can see, it goes on to infinity. If you could get low enough, hang on, or if I can bring it up high enough, pray I don't drop it. And hot wax would not do me well. Let me see if I can bring it up so you can just see how far that goes. Can you see that? All right, so I thought you guys would enjoy that. I don't think you've ever seen it before, so, you know, as I unpack things, I think, yeah, I'd like to see that. It actually came from Party Light, for those of you who know Party Light, and they had it one year, and luckily that year I bought it. I had Yvonne actually was selling Party Light stuff, and I saw that and said, yeah, that's got my name on it. So I'm glad you like it as well. It's amazing, though, how all it is one set of candles. All right? Because here is a mirror, and the two mirrors are reflecting off each other, and that's why you get that optical illusion. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Yay. Yeah, it does look magical, doesn't it? Yeah, it's a very clever illusion. If I take hang on. Okay, so if you just have the one, it's reflected once, okay? Hang on. I'm sure you're all holding your breath so I don't mess this up. But if you put the second mirror in, it's now reflecting both ways, and you get that incredible depth. No, that doesn't work very well, so. There we go. Anyway, glad you enjoyed it. Both pieces of glass are in some way have some level of mirror in them. So if I put my finger there, you can't see that now. Okay. Anyway, it's an optical illusion. It's wonderful. And I'm just so glad you do like it, because as I said, when I unpacked it, I thought, I really must clean that because I got a feeling the team will like that. I'm glad it made you smile, people. That makes me smile that you're happy with that. I made a good choice to bring that to show you. I went out in my car this week, to charge up the battery. So Jody found me a car joke, and it was 1 minute you are young and fun, and the next you're turning down the stereo in your car so you can see better. It's the same way as if any of you are short-sighted, as am I, you'd be amazed how many times you say to people, hold on 1 second, let me put on my glasses so I can hear you. Do any of you relate to that? And I can remember saying it to somebody way back. When I was in my 20s, I remember saying it to somebody. One of my colleagues at work was trying to talk to me, and I said, just hang on a second, let me put on my glasses so I can hear you. They didn't stop laughing for about a week. And I said, but it's true. Because if you are short-sighted, if you put your glasses on, you can see their mouths move better, and then it makes so much more sense, right? But I can always remember this colleague of mine at work going, you never believe what Sal just said. They were always laughing at me with good reason. They were meant to laugh with me, but they were always laughing at me, I can tell you that. Inside me, there is a thin person struggling to get out. But usually I sedate him with 4 or 5 cupcakes. Yeah, Jody. Now, this one I think is so true, but very few people, I think you've got to be older to understand it, right? But it says, you're an adult when you get excited just to go home. And I really have to say that is so true. And the older you get, the more exciting that becomes. You've been out for the evening. Yeah, but now I get to go home. Or that's a good one. Emma's saying, or an introvert. You need to be an introvert to feel like, and yet I'm not an introvert, as you know. But I tell you, at my age, I'm happy to be home. There is a trick that I do every day. And I need to draw it for you so it makes sense. But this next quote reminds me of it. And I've got this tiered garden at the back. It goes like this. It's like, apparently the pen has had enough. We can not worry about that. Anyway, so it's a tiered garden like this, raised garden. Okay. And then there's another tier that is here, another tier that's here. Yeah. And so these are steps going up. So that's not right. Anyway, but the joke is, it's also got a handrail here. Yeah, the handrail only starts at this level. So when I want to weed in the second bed here, And there is actually a third bed that is up here, which is a big bank. But anyway, when I do this, when I go to weed this area here, I walk along the end of this bed here in order to weed the second level. But when I come back, it's necessary because this railing comes down a little bit longer than it should. I have to sort of balance. Oh, I better not tell Jody. She'll get very scared about this. I have to balance because I need to be able to take one leg and put it here so that I can be balanced equally before I put one step down, my foot down onto the one step. And every time I do it, I think, if I get this wrong, I'm in big trouble. But it's sort of like, I need to cut off the end, this part of the railing, right? And then I'd be fine. So I'm thinking when I find I've got a chainsaw. Of course I have. You're not surprised to hear that. I've got a chainsaw and I'm thinking, the one day I'm going to take that and just cut off the end of that thing so that I don't have to keep hoping it's going to work. Because this quote said, I get enough exercise just by pushing my luck. And, and how many of you can see I do that every day? M saying, Sal, is it okay to ask how your life has changed since COVID-19? Has it changed any? Yeah, it's okay to ask. Has it changed any? Not a lot, quite honestly. Bye, Nyasha. No, it hasn't changed a great deal, except I'm not going out. I'm don't get to see my friends. So the only time I went out, I was saying this at lunchtime, the only time I've got out of my car was the day that I needed to go to the bank. And I actually drove to the bank because I needed to get money, substantial money from the bank. And I got out, and that was the only day I took a risk. And as I was already taking that risk, I also made mac and cheese and took it to Yvonne, but I didn't see her. I just left it where she couldn't help but see it. And it was so cute because when I got home, there was a text message on my phone and it said, the mac and cheese fairy came to visit and I didn't see her. So quite honestly, no, my life hasn't changed a great deal. If you want to know what retirement feels like, I guess you could say this is what it feels like. I think in a way I am not a great deal. How about you guys? Hi there, Anna. Nana's saying she wiped her money off that came out of the machine. Yes, I mean, I would say I'm washing my hands a lot more than I used to, even though, I'm just inside. I still go for a walk, Emma. I still go for a walk. I have to say that. All right, so Beth is saying the way her life has changed is she keeps saying sorry to customers all day long because they don't have toilet paper or any other stuff that they need and getting dirty because of it. It's mentally exhausting. Yes, it changes me every day. Yeah. So I think it depends. Yeah, Nana's saying she got. Funny enough, I have not had a trouble getting toilet paper. I stocked up immediately, and then whenever I see it, I buy it. So far, I'm probably about a month ahead at least. You're not able to go to scenic places even for a walk. The beaches are closed. Yeah, and police are asking where they're going. Yeah. I must admit that more than anything, I've been getting in my car and just driving for half an hour. Oh, one of my candles went out. Don't like that, do we? Okay, it's going to get technical now, people. Hang on. It fell in the wax, I think. Very technical. Just bear with me. Yep. Ah, I see what's happened. The wick came out. I'm going to stick it back in. Did that work, I wonder? The wick was actually floating. I get great joy fixing things. I need those battery-operated tea lights. I have them. Yeah, I got those too. These are battery-operated ones, but I think they're cheating myself. There you go. You happy now? Of course I'd have them. It's a gizmo. I still like the real thing. What kind of candle holder is that? Magical. I think it's magical. It's magical because there really are only 6 tea lights in there. That's all. But with the mirrors in it, it looks like there are 106. So I call it a magical thing. Anyway, Jody, I quite agree with you that every day I keep saying, I'm glad Jody's not watching this because she'd be having a conniption if she could see me. And now, of course, I've told you, but I do always take my phone with me just in case. I'll actually record it for you, Jody, so you can see the balance. Now then, here's another great quote from Jody. And some of you will really relate to this one. How about this? I'm sorry I'm late, but I did get here just as soon as I wanted to. Yeah, Jody's suggesting to Emma that maybe watching some ocean videos on YouTube. It's not the same, but maybe it would help a little bit. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm very fortunate. I'm really aware that I'm very fortunate. I have, 1,200 square feet of space here. I have a 29-foot deck. I have a garden I can get into. I have a car sitting in a carport, and even to go and sit in the car and just, for a change of scenery. Yes, I did read the email that you sent me. Thanks, Nana. Anyway, so to me, it's like, I still think I'm very grateful for, well, I don't think, I know I'm very grateful for all the things I have got. So even if I didn't drive my car, if I just sat in it, I would find that a nice, I tried to, as I was talking at lunchtime, really important that you change, maybe that you spend a different time in each room. The other thing I wanted to ask you, how many of you are wearing the same shoes all day long? Because it really is a good idea to keep changing your shoes. If you think about it, in a normal day, you would probably get up and put your slippers on, and then, you'd put different shoes on to do this, and then you'd put on different shoes maybe to go out. So what I'm trying to do is to remember that. And so now I have my slippers on at a certain time of the day. And then, so it's really important to keep your feet moving properly. Nana's saying she doesn't wear shoes. Well, I would recommend that you do. That for a certain amount of the day that you do wear shoes, because you will change, you will get very flat-footed if you don't. And I've noticed that as well. My feet do a lot better if I spend 4 or 5 hours a day wearing runners, properly supported runners, properly tied up and everything. They force my circulation to do a lot better. Now, isn't that interesting? Beth is saying that when all this is over, I'm going to take a vacation and self-isolate. Yeah, you're going to do what you haven't been able to do. I think that's very wise. I really do. I think that's a wonderful idea. I wonder if you'll actually do it. Where will you go? Where would you like to go? Because I want to tell you, going on vacation will be the cheapest vacation you've ever had after this. This one was a classic one. What if slugs are just snails who have gone through a divorce? And yep, she got the house. That is clever. You really do have a way of finding these. Yeah, Jody's saying to Emmy, there will be a day that you'll be able to walk the beach again and collect shells and water running over your feet while you hear the gulls. How many of you going? I'm looking forward to doing that again. So, to me, it's about, I'd rather you didn't actually, Nana. So, to me, it's about, we will get that chance again. All right. I still think that we will have some time in the summer where we're able to go out. My feeling is that round about June or late July, that we will be able to go out. I don't think I have to give a reason, Nana. Anyway, so to me, that's sort of like, you can look forward to that. I really do believe that somewhere July, August time, we will be able to go out. Yes, it's interesting. Beth's saying, yes, I always wear shoes. Even after a shower, I wear flip-flops. And they're on my feet until I go to bed. I feel naked without shoes. Yeah, I think it's different people have different reaction to things, all right? And so one of the things I would definitely recommend is be aware of changing your footwear just so that your feet do not get too splayed out and are not they're walking around in only flip-flops all day long is not good for your feet. And walking, I'm also somebody that loves to have bare feet. I grew up or spent a lot of time in Africa, and I could actually walk on scorching hot brick and cement without shoes on. So I understand the joy of going without shoes. However, I really do want to say that I recommend that you do not only wear a pair of shoes during the day, but try and change them up a bit, because it's going to be good for your feet. Just a suggestion. Conan O'Brien said this one. A study in the Washington Post says that women have better verbal skills than men. I just want to say to the authors of that study, duh. Which is great. So Nana, You asked whether you could put something up, and I did know about the story, and I appreciated it. But you asked whether you could put it up, and I asked you not to. This is, it's just you asked me, and I said I would rather you didn't. So if you, what Jody said is, could you respect the fact that I asked you not to? That was all. And then, Nana, what is it about the word no that you don't get sometimes? I don't know what it is. So, I have to say, Nana, that it's difficult for me because we seem to have this problem where we get into a sort of rhythm, and then you come in, and every week there is this sort of disconnect because you're not getting your way. And I'm sorry for that. Genuinely sorry, because it's not about that, right? We're trying to keep on track here, and that is all. Me and my bed are perfect for each other, but my alarm clock keeps trying to break us up. Okay. The candle holder, I did mention the name of it. It was made by Party Light, but I don't know if it still does. I have no idea whether they still had it. It came out one year, and I can't tell you if they still produce it or if Party Light is still in existence, for that matter. All right, for those of you who think that nothing is impossible, Jody said, try slamming a revolving door. And it's just like, I think that is impossible. Yeah. And I like that. And Irma Bombeck, who we all adore, or I would think a lot of people do anyway. My idea of housework is to sweep the room with a glance. And that's my idea too. Beth is saying, I think I wear shoes all of the time because self-consciously I needed to be ready at all times for everybody else's needs. Isn't that interesting? And I'm sure that finds that that not wearing shoes is freedom for her. Actually, I didn't ask her why, but I would imagine there's some sort of freedom. She doesn't need to wear shoes, so why should she? So it's interesting. Perhaps she can let us know. So to me, it's like we each have our way. But I hope you understand why I'm saying it's a good idea to wear shoes if you're used to wearing shoes, because what's going to happen is it's going to change the shape of your feet. I've noticed that my foot size has increased since I've been retired. It's called an infinity candle holder. Well, there you go. Thank you very much, Emma. So that's what it's called, an infinity candle holder. And there are a few stores online that have them. How about that? I must admit, I'd never seen one when I got this. And Cisco, one of my sons, when he saw it, he loved it and wanted one. So I went, okay. So I bought him one for his next birthday. He obviously didn't know it was expensive. Otherwise, he wouldn't have done that. Okay. Well, it's funny, isn't it? Because when I unpacked it, I really did think you guys would love to see it. If you have never seen one, it's, I'm sorry that my light is in there. I could turn my light off for a second, right? But if you've never seen one, it really is. And you can probably imagine at night, it's a beautiful thing to see if you walk into a room. Yeah. There we go. All right. I tried to be normal once. It was the worst 2 minutes of my life. um, oh, that's interesting that two of you find it calming. Yeah. I just find it magical. That's what I'd have to say. I find it magical. And I actually had a red candle in it. I had a series of red candles as well, which was beautiful to see. I've only got one red one. Do you want to see what it looks like with a red one? I think I've only got one red candle left. I can't remember how it changed it. Now I want to know. Hang on a sec. Okay, let's see what it does. You know I'm going to have hot wax on me, but never mind. You did that well, Sal. Ah, you can see it. Okay, good. Ah, you can't see it well. Can you see the red one? Not really. It's not close enough. But it is pretty going back. You need to be closer, but it is pretty. So there you go. Uh-oh. All right, so it just is one of those things, all right? Oh, you could see the color difference. Okay, that's good. And Jody, this one is obviously very close to Jody's heart, which is what doesn't kill you still requires a copay. By the way, are any of you struggling to get your medications or anything at the moment? Yeah, I wondered whether everybody understood what a copay was. In the States, their their insurance system will cover some medications, but some of them you have to copay. In other words, that the insurance company will pay some, and you also have to pay some. So it's called a copay, like cooperative paying. It's not all paid for by the insurance company. Yeah, there's a balance, Stu. Yeah. This one's a great one, too. Jody's got 8 a.m. I'm too tired to think. Noon. Too tired to think. 5. Still too tired to think. Midnight. How do dragons blow out candles? I totally get it. I do some of my best thinking between midnight and 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, and if I came up with that question, I'd still be hunting that down at 5 o'clock in the morning, Good one, Jody. I hope you guys are giving Jody a round of applause here because she really does find some great ones. Yeah, you see, Isabel's the same, and Emma's saying that's me too. Nighttime, how to solve every world problem. Yeah, and I really am not allowed to go to sleep until I've done it, because somebody may ask me. Yeah, but how do they exactly? Now, this one is really true as well. You definitely were firing on a couple of cylinders this week, Jody. This is one of the best weeks ever. Some call it multitasking. I call it doing something else while I'm trying to remember what I was doing in the first place. I so relate to that. Oh, Lord. Yeah, and that's Sandy saying, and that's when I remember to look everything up on the internet after midnight. Yeah. It's amazing, isn't it? And by the way, am I the only one that gets like 3 light years away from the original question before I realize, hang on a second, that's not what I came in here to find out? You know, I literally will go in to find out how, dragons blow out candles, and I'll be busy, into black holes and, those sort of things. And I'm going, why am I looking at black holes? I came to find out about dragons blowing out candles. Why am I busy studying black holes? And I'm going, because half an hour ago, down the rabbit hole. Exactly. Yeah. I do that very well. Right now, all right, let's see how well everybody's doing. Right now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31 tabs open on my browser. What makes you think I get distracted easily? And one of the first things I do, every day is to literally clear all my cache and my screen history, because it's like, no, really. Yeah. So Emma's saying the same thing. I start by looking out for a recipe in some way, and then 2 hours later, I'm Googling how tall was Jesus. How tall was he? I can imagine he probably wasn't that tall. 5'7" would be my guess. Not that we have it on any authority. Yeah, and Jody's saying, yes, Sal, I end up 5 levels away from the original question, at least 5. And then this one Jody found, and this is also very true, have you ever had one of those days when you're the one holding the stick and everyone looks like a piñata? Are you serious that Google says he was 4'6"? I know, I thought he was probably shorter, but I didn't realize that short. Sandy's saying, I only have 7 tabs open, but the night is young. Yeah, and Erin's saying that we're not the only ones. Her daddy used to also go online, and he'd be researching everything but his original question. Yeah, I totally, I get fascinated by things. Right, now get honest on this one. All right. My doctor asked if any members of my family suffered from insanity. And I replied, no, we all seem to enjoy it. Now, you see, it's like that one doctor saying, how did I sleep? And I said, I don't know. I guess the same as everybody else. I close my eyes and then I fall asleep eventually. So that's not what I meant. And I said, but it is what you asked me. How do you sleep? All right. So if that's what you're going to ask me, I'm going to tell you. He didn't have that sort of sense of humor at all. Don't know why. How do you sleep? Well, close my eyes. Yeah. All right. Now, this one came from Groucho Marx of the Marx Brothers, and he said, if you find it hard to laugh at yourself, I'd be very happy to do it for you. Now, this next one, I've seen I think I've seen it on a mug or on a nightshirt, and it says a yawn. A yawn. Oh, yawning. A yawn is a silent scream for coffee. Why is it that yawning is so infectious? Why is that? Does anybody know? There's got to be a scientific reason why it's so infectious. And I just wonder if anybody has the science on that. You do? Okay, give it to us. I'd love to know the science. I really would. Yep. Jody's saying, I don't know it, but I did yawn when you yawned. Yep. By the way, I started to pretend yawn, and that made me yawn properly. It was just like, wow, that's amazing. All right, so while Emma's coming up with the science, let's move on to the next one. Relationships are a lot like algebra. You ever looked at your ex and wondered why? All right, so here we go with the science. When we're tired, we breathe more shallowly, thus not getting enough oxygen. So our bodies produce a yawn to bring in more oxygen to our lungs. Yes, I understand that. But why is it infectious that when you see somebody yawn, you yawn? I understand why you yawn. Even talking about it. Even talking about it makes me yawn. Isn't that weird? Now that shows you how psychological it is. Really weird. Do you think it's time for me to put on a light? Hang on a second. Okay, the kitchen's back now. All right. Oh, by the way, we thought, I don't know if any of you are interested in this, we thought that we'd do an extra broadcast and we do it on Facebook Live so we can see everybody. We do, like a broadcast where everybody could see one another. How do you all feel about that? Okay, so Emma's saying it's triggered involuntarily when we observe another person yawn. It is a common form of eco-phenomena, the automatic imitation of another's words or actions. Wow. If you say so, Em. And there were a couple of words in there that I missed out. Ecocolia. Yeah, never mind. And ecopraxia. Huh, there we go. The automatic imitation of another's words is echolalia and action. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, I'm so glad you worked that out for us. Anyway, so what we're thinking about doing is we're going to do a couple of test runs during the week. So if you suddenly see me go live on Facebook, understand that you're more than welcome to join in. We just want to practice it to make sure that we know what we're doing. So there are going to be a couple of times during the week that you'll see me go live on Facebook. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just checking to make sure and to see whether everybody automatically sees it. And if so, just join in. Now, it does mean that people that you don't know, but are on the DearMamaSal Facebook page will join in as well. And they can be people from the past or whatever. So just be aware of that. If it's on Facebook, it will not be public then. And it'll be public to anybody who subscribes to the Facebook page of DearMamaSal. So it won't be to anybody. It'll just be for the DearMamaSal people that subscribe to the that support the Facebook page. So if you haven't, for any reason, followed me on Facebook, it would be a good idea to do that if you'd like to be included. Now, so is everybody here following me on Facebook? If so, you're going to be fine. And it will be, I'll try and do it over and above. And I just thought it would maybe be a nice distraction for everybody. And we probably will do it a little earlier, just so that the people in Europe can join in as well. I was thinking, again, in the afternoon, probably, just so that, because what time is it now? 8, gosh, why are you still talking, Em? It's like 4 o'clock in the morning for you. We should be listening to you snoring now. Dave Barry, and I loved his stuff, he said, magnetism, as you will recall from your physics class, is a powerful force that causes certain items to be attracted to refrigerators. How many of you have noticed that being isolated has increased your magnetism? Oh, isn't that a wonderful compliment? Thank you. Emma's saying my mind needed stimuli. Hence, I am here. That's very, very nice. And by the way, if I don't know if you've noticed this, but part of my daily entertainment now is to watch President Trump do his press briefing that he does. And, he has the medical people behind him. And I'm not listening to him because I know I can't believe anything he says. But what I'm watching is the body language of the people behind him. I find it fascinating, especially the little doctor guy, Fushi, whatever his name is. He has great difficulty keeping a straight face. So it's either that you can come here and listen to us, or you're going to have to find out how tall Jesus is, and you already know that. He was really 4'6". Fauci, yeah. What I love about watching it is that Trump will say 1 and 1 is 11, and Fauci goes, well, that's actually not quite true because 1 and 1 actually is 2. It's just like every day, and I don't know how he's still there. That's the incredible thing, because normally if you don't 100% agree with the president, you're gone, literally, gone. And Fauci keeps standing there and here's President Trump on one hand saying, the sky is purple, and then Fauci will stand there and with an absolute straight face will say, well, we know what we heard, but I think we all know that the sky is blue. And it's just like, how does he keep doing that and still be there? He's the only person I know that's been able to totally, and he does it without batting an eyelid, doesn't apologize for it. He just goes, I'm a doctor. And what I have to tell you is, and I'm going, and we believe you. But it has become a bit of a comedic show to me to watch it going down. And the lady with the scarf, Dr. Bricks, Fauci has such patience, Jody says. Yes. The lady with the scarves, all right? She owns black dresses and a lot of different scarves. Yeah. Birix. I don't know how she pronounces that. Anybody know? But, it's just like, boy, could that voice lull you to sleep. I listen to her sometimes and I find myself drifting off. She has very little intonation. It's just a it's like, really? And behind every great man, Jody have found, there is a woman rolling her eyes. I've been that woman. Yeah, I've been that woman, must admit. All right, so now then, an apple a day keeps anyone away if you throw it hard enough. How many of you are going and buying a bag of apples now? She pronounces it like Burks. Okay, thank you. Oh, that's so kind of you, Emma. Emma's saying Burks, but my pronunciation is awful. I love how you can look at a word you've never seen, Sal, and get it right 99% of the time. Yeah, I just guess. I just go with the flow. I reckon everybody else. I'm certain I've made some incredible mistakes, but it doesn't really worry me because I know that if I get it wrong, you guys will help me, right? This one is beautiful. Really, Jody, you found some priceless ones this week. Just once, I want a username and a password prompt that says, close enough. What I hate is when I totally have forgotten it or whatever, and none of my clues help me get it. And then I decide to start a totally new one. And then it says to me, I can't use that because I've used it before. And I'm going, of course I've used it before. It's the one I would normally use and probably the one that I've just should have used just now. It's a great one. You never realize what you have until it's gone. Toilet paper is a good example these days. How many of you have a whole new relationship with toilet paper? Suddenly, it's like gold. Okay, so Emma's got unicorns and butterflies are so outside learning how to hula hoop. Okay, hang on. Unicorns and butterflies are outside learning how to hula hoop. That's the password, right? Sorry, that username is already taken. Yeah, it's not the truth. Yeah, nice one, Em. You do really well at 4:15 or 4:20 in the morning. Yeah, how many of you have learned that actually to write a sentence is a really, by the way, always include a year in there just because it thinks you're smart. It's like, yeah. We now know what Emma's password is. Unicorns and butterflies are outside learning how to hula hoop. Yeah, they probably said, but you need to have numbers in there. And she'd probably stick a 1 at the end of it. You know what I mean? Jody, you've done an awesome job. You need to know that. You know, when you're an adult, you're an adult when you get excited about a new cleaning sponge at the kitchen sink. I think that's got Beth's name all over it, don't you? Beth's got to be the only person I know that really does get an erotic experience from cleaning surprise, Amazing. But I talk to her a lot as I clean. All right, so for those of you who, like me, are getting older, here is the next quote. I've expanded my skills. I can now totally forget what I'm doing while I'm actually doing it. Oh, I so wish that were not true. But it is. Yeah, and Sandy's saying, at the moment, I think we're all excited about Lysol wipes, right? Or Clorox wipes, whatever it is, wherever you live. Yeah, so true. Now, this one is a classic, Jody. How many of you can see the picture of this one? That moment when there's a spider on you and you suddenly turn into a black belt karate master. Stay safe. Thank you so much for joining us. And, we'll try and find out just how tall Christ was, especially on Good Friday. Well, actually, it's Good Saturday now, but for you, but it's still Good Friday for us. So we'll try and let you know if we find any advance on 4'6". And by the way, if you think that you know about bugs, go live in Africa. Because one of the things that really surprised me, and to this day still surprises me, is that in Africa, the bugs are so much bigger. There'll be a flying beetle and it's this big and it's going right, past you like this. It's so big that you want to throw a saddle on it and ride off into the sunset. You know what I mean? That sort of big. You get an ant here, it's this big. You get an ant there, it's this big. And, you don't want to hear about cockroaches, right? It's like, it's not about Texas. They don't just make it bigger in Texas. I want to tell you, go to Africa. And they make bugs that are just quite amazing. I do not miss the bugs at all. No, seriously, Jody, some of those bugs, you do want to throw a saddle on it and ride it off into the sunset because they are big, really. They say that love is more important than money. But have you ever tried to pay your bills with a hug? Yeah, says it all. And when you're in revenge mode, do any of you know that feeling? One day, I'm going to make onions cry. Jody, you did well, honey. You did really well. Dave Barry again. And I love his humor. So hang on a second. Eating rice cakes is like chewing on foam coffee cups, only less filling. How many of you going, that is true? And I wonder how many of you relate to this. Life status at the moment is currently holding it all together with one bobby pin. How many of you feel you're sort of hanging on by your little tippy toes here, by your fingernails almost? You still got it together, but it's getting a little tenuous now. And if so, join the rest of the world. And, you know, that was why when I did the broadcast at lunchtime today, I wanted to let you all know that, you know, hanging on to your mental faculties at the moment is your greatest challenge. And if you're lucky, your greatest gift. And I am just so happy we did so much work on it last year because, boy, am I glad I chose that topic for the viewers last year, because I really do think that, you know, it has helped us see things in a slightly different way. Nice one, Jody. Jody found this one. It says, my text messages would make so much more sense if there was a sarcasm font. You know? Have any of you ever done that? Have you ever tried to say something sarcastically and the other person thought you were being serious? Yeah, it's definitely got my name on it, that one. This one is so true. And Jody found this one. Check on your friends who work in professions that require them to refrain from saying 90% of what they think. We are not okay. So how many professions can you think of that are paid to actually not say what they think? Right? That would be doctors, dentists, lawyers. Which other ones can we think of? How about chiropractors, maybe? Proctologists, I would think, would fall in there. Therapists, definitely. Nurses, yep. Firefighters. Customer service reps, yeah, definitely. And weight management staff. Yeah. Nice one, Sharon. Yeah. Right. Anybody who works at works. Oh, that's difficult to say. Works at Weight Watchers. Try saying that 5 times. Are you ready? Works at Weight Watchers. Works at Weight Watchers. Works at Weight Watchers. Works at Weight. Works at Weight. Forget it. That is not easy to say. And then Jody also found this one and said, is there a refund for being this being an adult thing or what? How many of you going, all right, we had enough of this staying at home now. You know, can I go back to playing? How many of you think that we're going to be in lockdown for probably another couple of months yet? You know, it's like, I think it's very likely, regardless of what we're hearing about May. I think it'll be June or July before we actually see safety of any sort. And then, you know, it's going to start up again, is my sense. We're just going to be practicing here, ready for the winter one. Yeah. So I really do recommend that you find a hobby. You know, it would be a really good idea. Yeah. And Jody obviously was losing patience with some people in her life when she found this one. I'm not saying I hate you. What I'm saying is that you are literally the Monday of my life. I hope you weren't saying that to me, Jody. And this is, I don't know who wrote this, but isn't this true? It's only a matter of time until security cameras at Walmart become the hit show, reality show. And, you know, it's like, if you think about it, YouTube was spawned in a way by America's Home Videos, funniest home videos, right? If you think about it, it was America's Home Videos that started, and then somebody turned it into YouTube, right? And so you go, I think that this could happen. It's only a matter of time until security cameras at Walmart become a hit reality show. I think that's so true. Well, welcome to our world, Bernie. It's good to see you. Hi. You're alive and well, Farmer. I am so pleased to hear it. And so is Tracy. I am glad you're both well. Really glad to hear that. Thank you for letting us know that. And somebody was asked, how do I like my eggs? And answered, in a cake. I've got to remember that one. Wow. So Sandy's saying, oh, there is, or at least there was, a People of Walmart website. How about that? Yeah, you know something, Farmer? It's always a pleasure. We're thinking of doing a live broadcast with different people being able to be on camera, but I'm going to do it on Facebook, Farmer. Are you subscribed to my Facebook page? Wow. Farmer saying that he's been working 7 days a week in a central meat industry. It's his first day off in months. Wow. Isn't that amazing? How many of you relate to this one? I try to contain my crazy, but the lid keeps popping off. Yeah, Farmer, I agree with Sakura here, which is thank you for your service. And how is the supply of meat? I think that's something we'd all like to know. And we know this is in Australia, but, how is the meat supply? And, I've been keeping track of the percentage of fatalities in each of the regions. Funny enough, I check, US, Canada, Australia, and then compare that to what the world average is. And at the moment, Australia is doing an incredible job. And I think New Zealand as well. You're right. So farmers saying the meat supply is excellent and we do export meat throughout the world. Yes, I know you do. So yeah, thank you so much, Farmer. We appreciate it. Keep sending it and keep sending lamb because I'll eat it. I love it. How many of you can relate to this one? You never know what you have until you clean your closet, or in my case, unpack. It's like, how could I have spent a year downsizing and still have this much crud, But I managed it. This is a fond memory for some of us. They said, do what you love and the money will follow. So I ate chocolate cake and I drank tequila. Now I wait. So farmers saying stressful times. So traveling every day and working with thousands within our business. We are taking precautions. I'm sure you are. Stay safe, please. But thank you. Jody, you must have been howling finding these. This one, my bank called because they noticed a highly suspicious activity on my charge account. It was for a gym membership. I think Jody just tries to find things that will make me crack up. She did really well today. How about this one? Women's Magazine. Page 14. You're beautiful the way you are. Page 15. How to lose weight fast. Page 16. Cake recipe. How do you like your eggs in a cake? I love that one, Jody. I am definitely, if I ever get a chance to go to a restaurant and be asked that, how do you like your eggs? I am definitely going to say, in a cake. And how about this one? Dear Sneeze, if you're going to happen, happen. Don't put a stupid look on my face and then leave. Anyone relate? All right, here we go. Childhood injuries. Fell off my bike, fell out of a tree, twisted my ankle. Adult injuries. Slept wrong, sat down too long, sneezed too hard. How many of you going? Absolutely. I wish I'd been a fly in the wall in your place when you found these, Jody, because they are magical. They really are. How about this one? My house was clean yesterday. Sorry you missed it. That's why I love Jody doing this, because she obviously loves every moment of finding these quotes for us. I mean, how many of you got here? You've done an awesome job. I know I've got to do the what do you call it? Time thing in a minute, but it's just like we're up to 69 and still rolling. She really worked hard on this. I finally realized that people are prisoners of their phones. That's why they're called cell phones. Countdown. Thank you for those words. Yeah. All right. And now, the more you weigh, the harder you are to kidnap. So stay safe and eat cake. How do you like your eggs? In a cake. Oh, that's the last one. I could have gone on for even longer. Brilliant job, Jody. Let's give her a hand, because really, I think that's one of the funniest evenings that we've had. Great job. How you find them all is beyond my comprehension. But, I keep thinking, what a great thing to be able to do. And you get to laugh at them twice. All right. You get to laugh at them when you find them. And then I'm pretty certain you're going, how will Sal read that? Because, I could start at the beginning and read them totally differently. Yeah, Sharon's saying, great job, Jody. When I need my spirits lifted, I'll hit you up for a quote. Yeah, because she's become the quote master here. No doubt about it. And, the funny thing is that it's so great to know that she loves doing it so much. It's like the perfect job. for Jody. Could you do me a favor and find me quotes for Friday evening? I don't even have to ask now. It's just like, that's your job. And she does such a good job of it. And I try to read a couple of them before I start the broadcast. And I didn't get past the second one today. What was the second one? The coconut one, right? I was just howling, and I went, I don't even want to look at the rest. I'll be in trouble if I keep reading, because I knew I just missed the broadcast. I would just keep reading on. So I had to stop myself. Well, aren't you the kind person? Jody's saying they're much funnier the way Sal reads them. She is a master. Well, that's why, if that makes sense, Jody, that I try not to read too many of them, because I want them to be original to me, because I know that the reaction I will have is much more real. If I'd read them all through and already laughed at them, then my reaction would not be, it would be funny, but it wouldn't be as funny to me. So it's like, I like them to be a surprise to me too. He said, like, it gives me great pleasure. I love my laughter too, Sakura. When I say that, it's nice to laugh, isn't it? So that's what we're going to do, is we're going to do a couple of practice broadcasts, just so we can work out how it all works. And I've been practicing a little bit, because I've been reading the children bedtime stories on Facebook. And there doesn't seem to be any major problem. And the quality seems to be pretty good. So I thought it's time for us all to see what we all look like. And as everybody is supposedly at home and available, I thought it would be a really nice thing to do. So we will do, a series of them, just so hopefully you'll get to see most of the people that you get to see them online here. It's a good, hit me up, I can practice, right? Well, what I'm trying to find out is that if I go on live on the DearMamaSal page, will you automatically be told about it? That's what I'm wondering. Does anybody know? Because I think you'll be told that I've just gone live on Facebook. And so that would be interesting. Now, obviously, when I talk to the children, I do it on Messenger, so it's private. But if I do it on my Facebook page, DearMamaSal Facebook page, I think it would be available to everybody who is part of the DearMamaSal family and follows me on Facebook. That's my thinking. So please make sure that if you don't already, that you do that, because otherwise you'll miss out. I'm going to be doing a live broadcast or two on Facebook, just so that people can get up on camera and people can see one another. It depends if there is a notification bell thingy. Is there one on Facebook? Really? Let me have a look there. There's my page. That's why I thought we'd need to do a couple of runs at it so that we could see. Notification thing. Ah, up there. Okay, we'll find out. We'll find out. That's why we're going to do a test run or two. We'd all go live together. I'm not sure how many camera it would show. You don't have to go on camera. You could still participate like this. But if you wanted to go up on camera, just so we can see what everybody looks like and how they're handling their isolation. Yeah, I think everybody will be notified that I'm live as well. Yeah, I think so. Sakura says, I have you as top for me, so I get notification ASAP. There you go. All right. So let's see. We'll do a couple of just check-ins and just a couple of hellos and how's everybody doing to see who can get in and how many cameras it allows and so forth. Yeah, Farmer doesn't want to go on camera. He doesn't want to give people nightmares. No, I understand that. And, I just thought, though, it would be a really good thing. And what I might do is even, tell people who aren't normally there that we're going to be doing that. But I thought you might like to just, luckily some of us remember what Farmer looks like. We had those nightmares. And so, we're okay with it. All right, so Nyasha's saying she won't be able to participate, but she'll, participate anyway, exactly. Sharon says, I'll have to be on early before it's time to visit the hairstylist. Yeah. I've given up with that, Sharon. You now get me as I am. It's much easier. All right, so let's do the countdown before I get away from the time again. There we go. And for the romantics, when would it be? When I do it? Yeah, sure. I'm not sure when I'm going to do it. It'll be next week sometime. And we will be able to see and meet Tracy, but only if you put the camera on. I think I've met Tracy. I think you did a broadcast once from the deck, and I saw Tracy. Yeah, that's what I thought, Mama. All right, Valentine's Day for the romantics in the room. You have 16. Oh, no, I lie. You've got 10 months, 16. 10 months, 9 days, 16 hours, 12 minutes, and 26 seconds to go. Christmas, 258, actually it's 57 if you're in Australia, 258 days until Christmas. I just realized that for those of you living in Australia, these dates are slightly wrong. You've got roughly 7 months and 24 days to post your overseas cards for Christmas. US Thanksgiving, you've got 7 months and 19 days to practice the recipes. And by the way, I was saying at lunchtime, the chances are we're all going to be self-isolating, again, at that time. Practice. And I do recommend, really making yourself some great meals while you're self-isolating. I'm continuing to cook a roast. I'm continuing to eat well as far as I can. And please continue to do that. It's just because we're isolated doesn't mean we can't eat well and good food. Canadians' Thanksgiving is only 6 months and 4 days away because we have ours early. You're self-isolated. Your tax is 3 months away. And I know that you're going to do like the rest of us. You're going to get to the tax day and go, and to think I had all those days sitting at home when I could have done them. Yeah, it's okay. We've got 70 days until summer, or for those in the Southern Hemisphere, you've got 70 days until winter. Come on. I thought it was interesting that I moved 3 months ago now. Oh, to the day. Is that possible? Apparently. How's that possible? When did I own it? I owned it mid-March. No, that's wrong. It's only April, right? No, I owned it February, mid-February. So I moved mid-January, owned it mid-February. So mid-March, mid-April. I've had it 2 months, not 3. It's telling a lie here. All right, so Nyasha said she's taken this time off work to clean my room, as you suggested. Yes, you see, I think that this is what we all, you need to find something you wouldn't normally do and be able to remember it. I remember the big lockdown of 2020. That was the time that I whatever. And Farmer kept us eating food. Thank you for the meat, Farmer. Keep sending it. So I think it's really important that you do something that will be a memory, because life is about memories. All right. It is about memories. I think one of the reasons that I loved this candle holder is because I could always see it. I've got a lot of candle holders that, quite honestly, I don't think about. But this one, to me, is a memory. It's like, if you ask me what is your favorite candle holder in the house, I'd have to say this one. And so it's like it's really important to have memories about things. Part of you guys will know that from the other house, the memory you probably all have is of the wall behind me and the horse bosses and the hunting horn. And, if I asked you about what's your memory of this house, I'm pretty sure you will all say the kitchen, because that's all you've seen, just about. Some of you will say the vegetable garden, because you've seen that. But, it's like, it's important. The horn, yes, exactly. So I'm saying, Farmer, that the broadcasts that we do when we put everybody together will not have necessarily a theme, because it'll be everybody getting to know everybody. All right, so Nyasha's saying, not to disturb you, but in reference to the cleaning, I scattered things around while tidying up and parents got vexed with me. Is that the way to do it, or just to mess up one spot? Well, here's the thing. If your parents get upset, I can do that because I'm the only one that lives in this house. All right. I can literally take things and dump it all onto my bed and then put it away again. So, I have that luxury. I've got nobody telling me what to do and what not to do, but you live in a house with other people. So I would do it the way that causes the least problem. There isn't a right way. Just do it. Sakura saying, for her, it would be the black, red, and white theme and the worm farm. You like the worm farm, I'm glad. Oh, nice one. Sandy. I'm not going to top a topper. This is Sandy's quote for the day. Mama Sal, it's easy to get confused. I saw a meme that said 2020 is a unique leap year. It has 29 days in February, 300 days in March, and 5 years in April. And that is what it's going to feel like. It's beautiful. Thanks, Sandy. We are so glad you joined in, Sandy. I don't know what fluke of goodness happened that you parsed our paths, but I am so glad you stayed. It is funny how these things happen and people drift into our lives. And, it's like Farmer, whenever I see Farmer, like we had Roseanne popped in today as well. It's like we've got these memories from way back when. And, it is wonderful to my mind. Sharon saying, I want to know who didn't eat their peas or greens on New Year's Day, right? So here we go. It's going to be, something, Farmer, wonderful memories, most of them, like life, right? Nyasha saying, I prefer it all in one big pile and then take bit by bit until it's tidy. Yeah, that's how I do it. Doing so allows me to see what goes where, but no one else agrees except me. I need to know what to do. Well, just quite honestly, do it after they've gone to bed. They won't see it. How about that? If your problem is that you love to do it that way, but you can't do it because they see the mess, then do it after they've gone to bed. That would be an answer. Or just empty one drawer at a time or something, right? But I'm glad you're doing it, right? Yeah, Fama, I seem to remember days when we used to broadcast after midnight and I got to drink Bailey's milkshakes. But that wasn't on YouTube. We got some fun memories, I must admit. But I also have to say that I really did get very tired of all the trolls and so forth. Well, that's interesting. Jodi's saying, I'm so extremely grateful for the DearMamaSal extended family. I am too, all right? I'm very grateful for you all. Yeah. So, Nyasha, just do it. Do it whatever way you have to do it. And, you might just empty it all into a one box so they can't see, but you can still, I think I have about 3 boxes in my bedroom. I just throw them in, and then as I walk past each day, it actually looks quite tidy because there are 3 different boxes. But as I go past each day, I just pick something out. And by the way, this had been sitting on this countertop, but out of your line of sight for over a week. So I unpacked it, but I didn't clean it until today. And so, sometimes I have that luxury of not doing it immediately. But I am in the process of going through the house and trying to clean up everywhere, so that it goes back to being pretty tidy. So Nyasha is saying, for me, 2020 won't go away from my memory anytime soon. It's a year that I wish would turn into 2021 already. But there are a lot of months to go before that happens. Yeah. I want to tell you that we will all remember 2020. It will be, I want to tell you that this will be historic. They will write history about this year. So we are lucky to have lived in it or are living in it. Yeah. So Nyasha, just do what you need to do, but keep doing it, honey. Don't stop. You can't win, can you? If you don't clean your room, they complain about it. But when you do clean your room, they complain about it. Sandy's saying, thank you for being so welcoming. Well, something, Sandy? If I'd known what fun you were going to be, I would have drug you in here a lot earlier. But you really are a delight to have as part of the group, and I thank you for that. You always bring lightness and joy, and I thank you for that. Even if you don't want to. Because your sense of humor is weird, and we like that. So I want to thank you all for your time, and I hope you understand that, it's like it takes great effort for us to keep the energy going on a Friday evening. When I say it takes great effort, but have you noticed that we need to focus and stay focused so that we can laugh? Because so often we will get distracted and then we can't get back to laughing again. And it is something that I want us to continue to do on Friday nights. I want you to know that if you come to Friday night, we'll have a little bit of diversion, but really the main thing is that we will laugh. And we thank Jodi so much for the hard work. Right. And something that's so true, isn't it? Yeah, sure. That, your parents are old school and you're new age, and your thoughts are not going to agree. And you won't be the first adult child. Hi, Maria. Good to see you. It's a pleasure, Nyasha. I have great pleasure in doing the broadcast for you. I want to tell you that the broadcast we did at lunchtime, I spent quite a bit of time trying to think, who can I think of that was a real role model for survival in the modern times? And I thought Scott Kelly, who did, a whole year in the International Space Station, he couldn't open up the window to get some fresh air even, right? He was stuck in that small space for a year, just under a year. But the one thing that I found really interesting when I read about him was that he kept his sense of humor, he kept his kindness, he kept his mentality going the whole time. All right, that he always was the same person. And I thought that was incredible. And what self-discipline that must have taken for him to do that. And the other interesting thing was that if you looked at his background, he wasn't particularly smart at school. I am certain there were teachers that rolled their eyes and went, he became an astronaut, because he didn't get particularly good grades at school. And he wasn't, didn't come from a privileged family in any way. And when you read all about him, it really is quite amazing that he even became an astronaut. Never mind the two twins together became astronauts together. And so, you look at it and you go, it is just he found something. He saw the movie The Right Stuff and decided, yeah, I'd like to do that. And he really wanted to do that. And so he then focused his mind on doing that. And so that is why I thought, boy, that's a really good example for us all. That man lived in a Coke can, for nearly a year. He could not go outside and take a walk. If he did, he was walking in space. And by the way, really interesting to read his stories where he talks about how much space junk is flying around. And you have to be a little bit careful that it doesn't hit you. You have to be aware, because a piece of that space junk can hit you and you're dead. It'll be the end of you. It'll puncture your suit and you'll be gone. And he was saying one of the things that was really quite frightening when he went out on spacewalks was that he would see the damage done to the International Space Station. And as he said, you can't just ring up the guy down the street and go, could you pop up and just mend the brace on the, left-hand strut on the space? No. And I think that is such a, I'm noticing that as well. I've got my beautiful big patio umbrella, and I'm not strong enough to lift it by myself. I never have been. Yvonne has always helped me put that umbrella up and take it down again. Well, guess what? I don't have Yvonne anymore to put it up. And I've tried 3 times, and each time I went, this is not a good idea. It is too heavy for me. It is very big and very cumbersome, and it's heavy. And it's, the weight changes because of the weight of that huge umbrella. It's just not a small umbrella, it's a huge one. And so I'm going, I may have to call for my neighbor to help me and take that risk. But I think I might do that. Next time I see him, I'll say, hey, can I borrow your muscles for a couple of seconds and just get it up? Because otherwise I'm going to keep trying, and that wouldn't be a good idea. I can hear Jody not being happy. So everybody, thank you for being here. Thank you for laughing with us. And Jody, thank you for all the time you put in. I cannot imagine how long it took you to find all of these, but we are so grateful. And please remind me to start next week's spreadsheet for you, or presentation sheet for you immediately, so you can, just do a couple a day. Because really, you did that in like 24 hours. That was amazing. Thank you so much. So everybody, thank you for being here. It's not the same without you. I'm glad that you liked my memory of the week. I certainly am glad that you did. And it makes it heartwarming to me. I'm not quite sure where it's going to live. Part of me goes, it sort of lives there, but I will probably put it on the dining room table. But what happens when I unpack the silver? Good question. Where is the silver? It's probably in the it's probably in the shed, in the the outside shed, which means I probably won't find it for another year. All right. Please stay safe, stay very safe, and we will see you on Sunday for Soul Sunday, and then we will see you for a fun Facebook session a couple of times during the weeks ahead. And we will do that for as long as you all enjoy it. All right, everybody. Thank you, Jody. You make my job so much easier. You make me look like a superstar. I just have to read the words that you put up because I know they're going to be funny. This is Dear Mama Sal saying, remember to look after one another. But please remember to look after you. And I know that was a funny comment about change your shoes, but how many of you do realize that you're not doing your feet a lot of good walking around in slippers all day long or whatever? Think about your feet, because at the end of this, your feet will have changed shape. You won't be able to get into those other shoes again. This is Dear Mama Sal saying, think about that one. Oh, I'm going to say bye for now, and we'll see you Sunday. Is that okay? All right. Be good. No, seriously, be good. Bye.